Dennis?
First question is going to be directed to Mr. Fetterman. There's growing support among voters of both parties for legalizing recreational marijuana. Several states, including neighbors New York, and this very day, New Jersey began allowing the use of marijuana for recreational purposes. Mr. Fetterman, is it time for the federal government to do the same? You have 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's been a long time before the federal government should have gotten to this point. I'm proud to say that I was the only national candidate campaigning on legalizing marijuana back in 2016. For a lot of different reasons. One, there's an enormous racial component, whereas it is disproportionately impactful of people in communities of color with the enforcement of criminal charges. It would create billions in revenue, certainly here in Pennsylvania, long-term revenue, and much more nationally. It would also create tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs nationally across our country. It would also provide a cash crop for our farmers. It would also provide our veterans another tool to address PTSD with the use of medical cannabis to allow them to help go forward in their lives, overcoming their trauma as well too. There's really no reason to oppose the legalization of marijuana. And the only one reason to do that is reefer madness, and we need to move past that as a country.
Thank you. Mr. Lamb, as you mentioned, you're a former prosecutor. How do you feel about it? Should the federal government allow recreational marijuana use? You have 60 seconds.
I recently voted for a bill to decriminalize it as well. It's just not a serious criminal threat on the level of heroin and fentanyl and gun violence and all the rest. Where I may differ a little bit from my colleagues here on the stage is I think it has to be done slowly and very carefully so that we address questions like, what does the head of a construction crew do the day after it becomes legal and his heavy equipment operators could potentially be testing positive for cannabis? What do you do if your child's school bus driver tests positive for cannabis or has it in their system? We need some clearer rules and regulations to make sure that everything is safe, that the labor problems we already have in this country don't get any worse. But for the reasons mentioned, it would be good to remove the stigma of it and deal with some of the inequities it has caused over time.
Thank you. Mr. Kenyatta, to you. With many states allowing recreational marijuana, New Jersey is not far from Philadelphia, as you know. Is it time for the federal government to do the same? You have 60 seconds.
Well, the congressman must have got a contact high down there in Washington, because he used to be against this, and now he's for it. The reality is we do not need to do this slowly. We need to do it. We should have done it a long time ago. And what do you do if somebody's drunk on the job? We see 0 overdose deaths from cannabis. But what we do see is that African Americans and black and brown Pennsylvanians are 285% more likely to be detained and arrested for having a bag of weed in their pocket. This is why I keep going back to the importance of having people who understand in their bones what it means when government acts or doesn't act. I understand that this is a civil rights issue. This is an issue for the future of our economy. And frankly, this is an issue for our farmers who will be happy to begin to grow this product. And I just believe that Pennsylvania, we would do it best.
Thank you.
Can I respond to that? Can I respond to that, please?
15 seconds.
Yeah. I just want to clarify that I voted against a similar bill in the past because it did not contain steps to do this carefully. It was just sort of willy-nilly decriminalization. But one thing I know in my bones is how swing voters feel about many of these issues, because I've actually won their votes before. They're looking for stability and caution in our leadership.
Thank you.